Oh, small introduction. So, what I'm building, because I did not explain, is a push-pull variant of the base panels I made. I had the dual foil ones, but they're very inefficient and has other problems. It's a nice, cool gimmick that you can make so much low end for, well, you know, when using little magnets and no steel at all, but it has a lot of downsides. I'm not gonna name them all, but I will be naming what I'm making and why that is better. So if we have the magnets like these, they're gonna be sitting here, and then there's gonna be another plate of steel with these magnets on, and it will be pushing on here. So I have to push pretty hard to put these together. What happens is the magnetic field that's in between these magnets will be pushed out to here and there. Now the next row is the opposite and does the same. And then your magnetic field here in between the magnets will be much greater. Usually if you do this compared to a single-sided, it's like twice the magnetic field, almost. And in theory, that would be 6 dB. Oh fuck. Ow. 6 dB more output. At least compared to the double membrane thingy I did. It should be 6 dB louder, and maybe a little bit louder even, because it's pushing the magnetic field outwards. The gap between magnets can be greater still, and still have twice the magnetic field that I had with the other one. So if this piece here in between magnets is bigger, that means you can put more coil in there. And having more coil in there while still having the same impedance adds to the efficiency as well. Now do not forget they will not be efficient. But the dual membrane I measured yesterday tops at the low end at least, because that was the only part I'm interested in. And it's also the part where you lose almost, well, the most dBs was 74 dB efficient. If you go have a look at 400 Hertz or something, it would be 83 dB efficient. Or 84 even, I don't know. So 10 dBs louder. It has to do with the open bevel. It's losing low end. Mostly. So yeah, the dual membrane could be far more efficient if it was not an open bevel, but it is. So yeah, with this I should, and I'll just, yeah, should be possible in theory to have like 81 dB efficient with the same excursion, so the same Xmax of 6mm, which might eventually be way too much, but if I wanted to compare those two, I thought at least have the same excursion, then compare them, measured them, and then decide if I want to go 6mm Xmax or 3, because that's the only other option. If I make the spacers 50mm instead of 18mm. The magnets are 12, so 15 minus 12 is 3mm excursion, and 18 minus 12 is 6mm excursion. So that's what I'm doing. I bought this metal at the local shop, which is dumb, but if you only need one piece to test something, there's no other way. 25 euros. 25 euros for this piece of metal. Come on, guys. It's not worth 25. Definitely not worth. I can buy 1.2 meter by 2.5 meters for 140 euros. So yeah, this is definitely 25 euros worth. Okay, I know they have to earn some money as well, but this is ridiculous. I say it every time I go there, but I still go there. If I need something fast. So let's go building. So I'm gonna use a template. See how that works. Should work. Ah, no. hit the breaker straight away. Nice. It's actually not the breaker. As you can see, you have to do this with trainers, so they melt gazillion holes. Might need it to have a little bit more power. I never use this thing, so next one will be better, I would say. It's hot now. How much slack do we have? Yeah, so the parts that I recut a gazillion times do not look too good. I didn't take into account which side I wanted to have on the inside of the panel. Normally I take the sharp side, this side. Now in this case, because I have slack that I can remove or just leave if I put it on the outside. But yeah, that I don't have the sharp side on the inside of my panel, so I have to remove the slack. Too bad. I have one of those hammers, but that sucks. I'll just use the belt sander, I guess. Something like this. One frame. This side looks pretty smooth. So that's how I'm gonna make my frames, because I'm not wasting all this material. So if it was one piece this size, now I can make two, and I still have a little bit room left. So now this is supposed to line up with the metal I cut. That's still a learning curve to using the plasma this way. Maybe there are better ways, but so the frame that is not going to hold the membrane let's say it's this one, I don't even need to glue. This will be fine, it's just a spacer. The frame with membrane, I will add some glue in between before I put them together, because it needs more stiffness. I mean, this still can wobble, like, you know, a little bit, and that will be less. So I used 18mm. And the magnets are 12, so 6mm X-Max for push-pull. I mean, that's a lot. Normally I had 3, maybe I go back to 3, but I want to try 6 first because I can compare it with the dual membrane thingy. This will be more efficient, that's for sure. But I wanted to do the same X-Max and see what we got. Yeah, so now the annoying part is cutting the foil. I also have a tape that I want to try, because I've seen many use this 3M MP6 something tape. What did I? Oh, yeah. Apparently I designed these sides to fit the tape. Usually it's the other way around. And I can add like 2 rows here. So it's a 3M 467 MP from the 200 MP adhesive range. So where I ordered this normally, they were out of this tape, so I could not order a wider thing. And then I thought, maybe I have this tape somewhere, because I buy a lot of tapes and I forget. And apparently I did. Cool. So yeah, this method works really nice, especially with this MDF, because it's Medit 330 is such a cool MDF. It's the best I've ever used. And I will be buying some more of this, because this is the last piece I had. Then I'm depleted after 3 years. So I ordered a few sheets and it lasts pretty long. Because, well, I'm a cheapskate. So I usually come up with something like this to use less. I hope this is in focus this time, because I changed diaphragm to have more in focus material instead of stuff being out focus. This camera does not like dust. Because I was a cheapskate, I bought the cheaper model. Well, we'll see how long it lasts. Oh, this hole is huge. It's a bit too much. Towel? No towel. No, come on. need a sponge with water before I ruin my table, because it's so nice right now. Don't want to waste a beautiful table like this with some nasty wood glue. Might give it a few tappity taps. And then the spacer I don't actually need to glue, so I might not glue. So I do need to take a look at how this thing's supposed to be sitting, because this one can go in the wrong way if you like. Then these holes do not line up, and then these holes do not line up with the metal. I think I'll leave this as is. Or is this too sloppy? It is a bit sloppy. But then again, it only has to sit there. I don't know yet. I think I'll leave it for now. So that's weird. This is pretty sloppy. So yeah, apparently my cutter cuts away slightly more than the 4mm it says it is on the package. So if I change the tools that is like 4.1mm, this would be a little bit tighter. We could see if these dimensions are correct. Or this one. Yeah, this one. 31.94. Yes, I think it should be 32. So yeah, the cutter does 0.03mm too much. So 0.015mm, the cut width is large, or the diameter of the cutter is larger than stated. Maybe if you measure it, it might be 4, but maybe it's like a little bit floppy when machining, and that makes a wider cut than the bit actually is. You could compensate for that, but hell, I mean, look at my machines made out of random pieces. I'm gonna model a coil and put the blade on the machine, etc. Probably waste some 50 micron aluminium foil, because I want to use it, but I probably will notice it's really hard to cut. But we'll see. God damn it, did not cut. Why is everything except 30 micron such a bitch to cut? So it looks like it cut, but it actually didn't. Nah. 30-degree angle instead of 60. I don't know. I don't know why this cuts like shit. So this work, maybe I can get it working with slightly less weight. I just did sort of overkill, because 3 or 4 times it did not cut through the aluminium, which is kind of annoying. So I thought this will not happen again, and it didn't. But if you cut too deep, the cut is less clean. Yeah. This frame is kind of shitty. Yeah, this is the way it's supposed to be. I have to add like double-sided tape on here. Then flip it over. Then stretch it. Then glue it. I hate all of this because it's repetitive. I've done it a gazillion times and it's quite a lot of work. I don't know. It should be much faster. Well, it is of course faster if you do like 4 or 8 in one go. Then it's not that much of a big deal. But doing one-offs is a big deal. Then we use our bicycle pump. The pump. And see how it breaks, because that happens every now and then, especially with this new frame. And I think we go, ooh, hefty. This is complete random in terms of how much force we apply. Feels quite that's pretty high. Why? Because this whole frame is much larger than the speaker, so it might be too much. So you'll end up with a adhesive layer on it, and only just the adhesive. Several manufacturers use this. I believe Magnapan uses VHP, which is also only adhesive, no backing. Something like this. Then we use the roller. No, not liking this one bit. There are wrinkles in there, which is there. You can hear it. Feel. And why is it a fail? I don't know. Apparently it did not stretch it like nicely, and it had some sort of more tension on one side. This sucks. Sucks so hard. It might be this. Yeah, so it might as well be this doing this, but even then, if I stretch it like this, there are wrinkles. Especially around this corner here. Am I gonna use it? I'm probably removing these wrinkles there with some heat. I know it will lose some tension, but this is not having any tension here, so it's not much to lose. And yeah, I think the reason why this happens is usually I use 12 micron, which has more like a stretchy feeling. This is twice as thick and it doesn't stretch as hard. So it will not compensate for this kind of troubles. That's my thought on this. Yeah. Gonna try and fix it with heat, but I don't know. It might fail completely. Now if it does, getting this glue off probably is a nightmare. Probably will never get off properly. Not gonna make a frame every time I fuck up a foil. Well, I fixed the wrinkly bit. Resonance is real low, but that could be because this will be pulled inwards. And if it's on the metal frame, it will be maybe slightly pulled upwards, like... now I just have to poke holes, like here and here. Hey. So if I attach the metal later on, I'm not like removing the mylar from the glue. So the tiny holes were just to hold the wood on the CNC. So that's done. I don't know. I'm not really convinced. Let's put the other frame on top of it, see how much it went inwards, if we can see that. Well, hardly anything, so... I do hope the resonance goes up when the screws and the metal are applied, but I'm not too sure, because this frame looks about the same. Now this is all I can do for today, because next up will be putting the magnets on here, and normally I did that with cyan acrylate glue, or CA. Now CA is very brittle. It's nice if I do tests, I can just, you know, whack them and get them off. In this case, because it's going to be push-pull, I don't want magnets flying everywhere, or if one gets loose, it will screw up the whole foil and it will be a disaster. So I bought some CA glue that is more flexible. So it's it's more impact resistant, which is very useful, I think, because this metal, this is just an... if all the magnets are here and the other magnets will push down on it, opposing force, this metal will bend, I think, slightly at least. And then the magnets could get off if it's like very brittle glue. I could use epoxy, etc. That takes a gazillion years. Not liking that. It has to be done in one day. I prefer in a few hours. So I have to clean this really well, have to make a jig that will be going in here, with all the cutouts of the magnets. Then I'll glue on the magnet flop, glue on the magnet flop, blah 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 blah, and then use accelerator from the back. Maybe even not use accelerator. Accelerator makes it a little bit more brittle as well, but I think I will use accelerator. Or maybe I'll put the panel away, do the second one, and then use accelerator. So it has some time to cure on its own. But yeah, since DHL is not coming today, apparently, I cannot finish it today. That bothers me because, as you know, I like to make something in one day. Because I'm curious how it works, or in this case, how it might not work at all. I mean, it's something I did gazillion times before. I don't know why it's acting up weird right now. I never have this problem with wrinkles, etc. It might be the dumb new jig I made, which has a weird size. It might be the fact that I used 23 micron mylar to do this, and I should have had the much higher tension to have it like straight. It doesn't stretch as nicely as 12 micron will. So yeah, maybe that was a dumb idea. But we'll see, it's on there now, and I'm pretty sure I cannot remove it easily without destroying the wood or have a lot of glue still left, and then I cannot reuse the frame either. So maybe the 30NF isn't that weird of a stupid idea still. I mean, I don't know how much faster this tape was. It probably was faster, but yeah, if you have to redo it and you cannot, it might not be faster, it's even slower. So it might work if you have something worked out and works every time. Maybe in this case it's a waste of money because this is really expensive as well. Well, really, I mean, 30 euros for a roll, you know. The adhesive is probably 30 euros for half a liter and takes me half a year or maybe a year to deplete. Is there anything else I want to show you? No, not really. See you in part 2 where I do the magnets and hopefully some measurement as well. Bye bye.